I'm Jake's person. Hey, everybody. Happy Sunday. Listen, if you're watching the replay, make sure you not only follow, but like and follow so you'll be notified when we have a new video or when we do go live. Bert, would you like to get on here with me? He's staring at me, so I knew I could get him away from it. All right. We're going to do 2 crafts tonight, but they are the same thing. Just one is going to be anchor, kind of boat, ship thing, and the other one's going to be a lemon thing. Oh, thank you, thank you. Can turn my comments. When you jump on, make sure you tell me where you're from, if you're new. Oh, put that over there. I don't need that. Yeah, that's fine. I never find it in there. All right. Hey, Janet. I'm glad to see you too. Hey, Sherry. Sherry, I want to wait till everybody's on here because I got your prize you sent me. But I want to wait till everybody's on here so I can show everybody what you got me. It's so super sweet. And you got me 2 of them. And I have some lemon ones. So I think I'm going to do a craft with one and then use the other one because I love them. And they're so good. Y'all, Sherry sent me these 2 hand towels, lemons. They match all my kitchen stuff, my tablescape, and the colors are beautiful. And I love that it's got that little kind of a guave color in there too, instead of just the green. I love them. Thank you so much. Sherry sent that, and she sent the sweetest little note to me about how much she enjoys it. And y'all know I love getting prizes. So when I saw this sitting there, I was like, oh my gosh, I hope it's a prize for me. Hoping it wasn't for Buffy, but it was for me. All right. Sorry for the way I look, y'all. We have worked in the yard so hard today. Thank goodness my fingernails, they're chipped, but they're black because my feet are black, I'm black. So when I get out of here, y'all, I'm going to take a long, hot, soaky bath, put my little salts in there. It's going to be awesome. But do y'all not love those? I love them. They are so pretty. All right, so let me put them right there. Let's put my little fan mail over here. I love it. All right, tonight we're going to make kind of a frame within a frame. One of them we're actually going to use a frame that we already have, and the other one we're actually going to make, we're going to make a frame. Juveniles, y'all, juveniles. All right. I really want to, I think I need several of these. Ooh, and there's one that and I've got my big popsicle stick is kind of going to be what I'm going to make my frame out of. But I'm going to use these, what do you call them? Gosh, wedge. I can't think of what they're called, but I know what they're called. Shims. Oh. And we're just going to make a frame out of them. And, you know, they're not always the same width, but I like that so they'll sort of kind of look like it's an old kind of piece of, you know, wood that we're putting together. All right. I think I want it bigger than this because I'm going to do this just a little bit smaller, our frame. Let me figure out how much I want my frame to change. Ooh, my big good scissors were outside today. I've used hand towels to make a print in my printer. Love the lemons. Oh, I know. Isn't that sweet? I love them too. Hey, Mary. Hey, Kathleen. Hey, Judy. Oh, my. I have more white hair than Mimi at the age of 64. Wasn't that just the sweetest thing yesterday? And she remembered, you know, it's rare, it's hit or miss when we go over there if she, you know, remembers that I've done wreaths. And at first when we were walking outside, she didn't say anything. We were like, we have a surprise for you. And it's like right before she got around the corner, she was like, oh, I have a new one, you know, and she was so excited. And, you know, she didn't want to walk up the steps, so we went back inside and opened the door because she wanted to see how, I kept telling her how it was her gloves that she had on there. Chris was laughing, saying it's probably she wanted to make sure it was some gloves she wanted to use, but I had to go on to tell her that, you know, she was you know, they were just sitting in the watering can, that she wasn't going to lose them. And so everything was okay. But she loved it, and she's so sweet. She remembered today when I went back over there with Chris. We had brunch with her. And she was like, I know, it's just so beautiful. She said, I hope everybody in my neighborhood, when they drive by, notice it. I'm like, me too, because it took us forever to do it. But it looks so good. Up on her door. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm cutting my popsicle sticks, and these are kind of those like big tongue depressor type, you know, large jumbo popsicle sticks. Cutting them off because I'm going to make a frame for this, and this is going to be our background, so I believe I need like a couple of more shims because I really want this to sit in the center. And we're going to do like a little technique, some decoupage, and again, y'all, to our, all right, and I'll tell you the way I'm going to put these together. I'm actually going to use my little blocks because you won't see it. We're going to cover it almost like you would cover a canvas. Hey, Cian and everyone from MS, what is that? Is it Mississippi and Missouri? Because Mississippi is MI, or is that Maine? I forget. But hey, Connie. Hello, Deborah. Hey, Sheila. Oh, it's cold, Missouri. I'm so jealous because we have been working outside. Y'all, I mean, I'm not kidding you. If you can see my feet, they're like the color of my black pajama pants right now. But I am going to take the longest soak. But it's one of those days that your feet so dirty from gardening that I'm going to have to wash my feet before I can get the bathtub. Thank you so much, Rosemary. Listen, if you're new to the page, please click on what Rosemary just shared, Cian's Crafters. You become a member where you can show your crafts. You don't always have to post. You can see other people's crafts. You don't have to fill out any questionnaire. I think some people do that to make sure you know not to put business stuff on there, but I really don't care what you post. I love it when y'all post recipes on there. You don't have to just put crafting. We're all kind of family here, so it doesn't really matter to me what you post. Okay, I think I'm going to use 2 of these just because I'm going to box it in, and I really want it to stay pretty square. And I'm going to pull on this and cover it so I'll understand what I said. Okay, so I put this here. Then I'm going to put the next piece, and I'm going to put it on the inside of each, like 90 degree, just because I'm going to pull the fabric that we're going to cover it with on the outside. So like I said, it doesn't matter what you use. You have some scrap wood. You know, no, we don't have to stain this or anything because you won't see it unless you just want to. I'm using burlap material, so you can see through this. So there might be a chance that we'll put a little stain on it, but we'll see. I'm going to see how much you can see through it, but hopefully you don't see anything, and that way we don't have to waste our time. Okay. All right. So here is our other side, and we're just going to keep going around until we make a square. The good thing about popsicle sticks is usually you don't have any warp to them. Like when you use paint sticks and all that, sometimes you can get like one that's pretty warped or something. Popsicle sticks tend to be pretty straight, so hopefully by the time we get around to this other side, we won't have that problem. All right. Your feet is dirty. You have flip-flop marks. It's not just that. I can't wear tennis shoes like socks and shoes. I know how hot it gets. So I wear, Buffy, what are those kind of shoes called?
What shoes?
That I wear outside. They're not like a Croc, but no, because that's like a slide-on shoe. This Velcro's on the top, like Chacos type shoes. They have a nice solid bottom, but they Velcro and they go across the top of my feet. That way I don't lose them. They're still sturdy enough where, you know, today I was having like shovel and plant things, and we got our scuppernong or muscadine trees planted, or we got the stakes put up. We have not planted them. We had to put the poles up for them to climb on, so we had to cement those in. So that's why my feet, they're such good shoes. They cradle my feet, but yet if any dirt gets in the inside of them, it just stays there, and then my feet just rub across them. So I have grocery store feet. You want to know the truth? I don't be posting any crafts for a while. Our house burned down. Oh my gosh, Denise, I'm so sorry. Water shoes, yeah, Judy, they're like that. They're meant for, you can go in the water straight out, but I love them because you can get them dirty. They hose right off. All right, so here's kind of our frame. And if you think about it, like a frame that you, if you took the canvas off, this is kind of what you're left with. So we got, you know, a good little sturdy bond. And the first one we're gonna do is the lemon tree one. And let's see, this is what I wanted to do, is put these together, and I wanted to see if I had enough to put it, because I want you to see around it, but I don't want to make it too big. And I think that's perfect size. Okay, so let's go ahead and put these together. Now, once again, when you're putting anything like this together, if you're going to put it outside, make sure you put a little E6000 on it. I've got these pretty good sticks here that we used the other night for our the corner of our red, white, and blue craft. Denise, yes, I'm so sorry. Oh no, I unloaded 25 40-pound bags of topsoil for an area around my tree and transplanted hostas. Me tired. I understand that. When Chris and I put those bags of mulch out, oh my gosh, you just don't realize the next day you're trying. But I love hostas. Do you love those? Those are one of my favorites. I usually don't like any kind of shade plant, but they're just so beautiful. The leaves, the variegated one. Is it the Empress one that's like got a variegated leaf and it gets really big? Because I think I bought, excuse me, 2 of those. But I love it. It's one of my favorite plants. Okay. All right, so I'm just putting this down, and it really, to me, doesn't matter what side you put it on, because they're both pretty much the same. But gonna put it together. I like the fact that, you know, it's not perfect when you look at it this way, kind of old. It helps with your old and rugged look. If you want it to be really uniform, I would say paint sticks may be better for you, but I like the fact that shims are not the same. But we'll get back to this. But now what we're gonna do is we're gonna decoupage our napkins, and going with our lemon theme, I have these awesome, beautiful lemons, and it's just got that perfect color. And look, y'all, I'm only gonna have to use one, and I love it. And you're only gonna see the edge. As we cover this, you're only gonna see the edge, so I like it. It's the same thing all the way around. But let's make sure we can get this other ply off of here. Ooh, this one looks a whole lot easier than the other one. And these napkins, I'm pretty sure I got at Hobby Lobby. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure. All right, so we're down to just our 1 ply, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab our Mod Podge. I wear water shoes in Cherokee Mountain so I don't skip on the rocks on the river. Smart, Judy. That's exactly. Mine's got good grip, and I love using them because, you know, for some reason the bottom is really tough on them. So, like, if I have to shovel something with my foot, you know, it doesn't mess them up. If you have flip-flops, I don't know if you've ever went to shovel something, and the next thing you know, it is like cut through your little cheap flip-flops. But you don't have to worry about that with a good pair of, what are those shoes called, Buffy? I forget again. Chacos. They're expensive, but they last forever. I mean, you could do anything with them. Yard work, get in the water, get in the ocean, get them yucky, and they just clean right up. All right, so gonna get our Mod Podge on here, and I think it's about time for me to get some new Mod Podge. Now, sometimes with this Mod Podge, and we'll do it slow, when it's a raw piece of wood like this, it can start to soak up your Mod Podge faster than, you know, just say like a cheap piece of that pressed. So what we're gonna do is, I think the simplest way, so I don't have to keep going back, is take this, and we're gonna do, I'm gonna do it a little bit down because I don't really want those words in there. Oh, let's see, no. I may have to have a little bit of in there because I need to make sure it covers it up. Yeah, but it's so close to the edge. Maybe we could just stress it a little bit right there. Okay, and I'm just gonna rub it out where we've put it, and then I'm just gonna fold it back, and then we'll just do a couple at a time. That way, I don't lose any of the glue, it doesn't start soaking in, and I have edges that wanna pull up. Because like I said, this raw wood will kind of soak it up a little bit faster. All right. Do it down a little bit. And I'm gonna go back and cut it in between both of those pieces of wood just so it looks like we actually decoupaged each one before we put it together, which you can do that, but we have to save time here on Cyn's Craft and Ben. So I don't keep y'all forever. And I love these shims. You can get them. They're the larger shims. I got mine from Lowe's, but pretty much if you have a local hardware store, they always have shims. And you buy them in like a pretty big pack. I think mine came in like $50. 50 for maybe around $3, $4. They're not expensive. And they're raw wood. They stain. Real wood, so they're really good. Hey, from, is it, I always say, Buffy, if something's TYTY, is that like tie-tie?
I don't know.
Oh, I think I asked you that every time. Sorry, I had to get replay for Friday. Y'all had a ball. The napkins did come from Hobby Lobby. I got them. All right, thank you. And I'm so glad you got to watch the replay because for some reason it did not save on my phone, so I could not upload it to YouTube because I wanted Mimi to be able to watch it on her smart TV, us make her, and it just how I wanted it, because to see us make that rake and everything, and when it doesn't save on my phone, it's saved on Facebook, but there's no way to save a video. You can cut and paste one, but you can't, like I can't save it from my phone. I was just, it's happened a couple of times to me, and I was like, so I'll forever have it on Facebook, but I can't put it on my YouTube. And that's normally where she'll watch one of my videos. Okay, last one. Hey Sue, good evening to you too. You too, Doris. Yes, it's tie-tie. I'm originally from there. Oh. Kind of like Tybee Island, but tie-tie. First, I thought somebody was kind of saying that like it's from Tybee, but I think I asked her that the first time. She was like, no. Where is it located? Y'all told me before. Hey, from Daytona, so glad that you did do this. I enjoy and learn. Oh, Shirley, thank you so much. And Daytona is where we used to really vacation every year. All right. I really don't want to rub it too much because I kind of like it just how it is. You can see the different levels of the wood, that it's not perfect, but I am going to dry it a little bit because I really want to cut down those lines. But y'all, I'm scared I might mess it up, so we may not do that. I mean, I would just hate to get like halfway through that one line and my X-Acto knife tear it, which I guess we could kind of smooth it out. Look at you look on YouTube. Oh, I know. I love all my videos to be able to put them on YouTube. I can just go back and search. So much easier on YouTube. So if y'all want to go and follow me on YouTube, it'll alert you there too. They're never live. They're always just my replays of my live videos on Facebook, but I always put them on there too. And it's the same thing, Sin's Crafting Den. So if you ever want to go back and look at something old, it just seems so much easier on there. On Facebook, they'll say like a week ago, and it's 5 things that were a week ago, or 2 weeks ago, a month. And then you have to scroll through them. It just is not really that good. Around Tifton, Georgia. I've heard of Tifton, but I'm thinking, is Tifton in the middle of the state, Buffy? Or is this Tifton? Isn't that near like Macon? Hey, Sue from Michigan, where you at? Sue, I am from Georgia, right below Augusta, Georgia. We're probably about 20 minutes below Augusta. If you look at the state of Georgia, we're about halfway down on the border of the right, because the border of our county is the Savannah River. You know, and that's the border into South Carolina. So we're about halfway down the state of Georgia on the right-hand side border, right below Augusta. Little town called Waynesboro. Now there is a Swainsboro, all kind of boroughs, but we're the one with the W, Waynesboro. Better known as the bird dog capital of the world. I'll tell y'all a funny story. I was in a pageant when I was young, and it had an interview in it. And in the interview, it was, the question was, what would you say to someone, oh gosh, if they wanted to move to Waynesboro, Georgia, Burke County? And I can remember after it's all said and done, and I won, but my mama, she said, oh my gosh, all I could think that, and this was, I'm so young, let's see, I was a teenager at the time, 16, 17, and we hadn't had a McDonald's very long. I mean, y'all, we were super, super small. We had like a Dairy Queen my whole life. But Mama was like, oh, I was so nervous. All I could think was you were going to say, well, we just got a McDonald's. I'm like, really, Mama? Really? And I did so good. But she was laughing. We laughed about it, but, you know, as you get older, you're like thinking, I mean, does my mama think that, you know, all I know about our county is that we just got a new McDonald's? But obviously she did. All right, now you can cut this if you want to. I'm just going to sand it a little bit to get it pretty close to that edge. I just got one of these little sanding blocks. You can get them from Walmart, any hardware store. You can get them at the Dollar Tree. I don't think ours have had any in a while, but I have not went over there in about a month and looked. But the last time I did look, they were out. They're pretty low grid. Like the lower the number on your sandpaper, the rougher it is. And they're pretty, I'm going to say they're like 50, which is extremely rough. I like that because in projects like this, you don't have to sand very long. If you get something, you know, like 100 or more, you may have to sand a while. I mean, it's not to say you couldn't get one. Maybe if you ever have doing light sanding, usually that's what you need. But most of the time, I'm trying to get something off, and you know, you only have to hit it with something like this a few times, and it gets it right off. South 70 miles and I-75 from Valdosta, Georgia. Okay, so you're more south, and really almost on the other side of the state for me, or right in the middle. Yeah, that's a good little ways away then. So I was totally wrong. My daughter lives in Douglasville, Georgia. I think that's up north, isn't it? Most of the Villes are up north. But Georgia's, people don't understand, Georgia's a really big state. South Carolina, yeah. Pensacola, Florida here. Lynn, we all know where you used to patrol. Lynn, when you were a police officer, were you a police officer in Pensacola? Or is that just where y'all retired to? All right. So, we've pretty much got all covered up. All rustic. Maybe we can take some stuff around the end. And so now, this is what's going to sit in the center. Now remember, this is going to cover it up. But what we're going to use is really kind of a minty green, kind of a moss color. I like it. Because that way, when we decorate our lemon that we're going to put on top of it, you'll be able to see the leaf and everything. So, just like a canvas, I'm going to kind of measure it around on what I need. And I'll get the rest of it because it's a pretty big piece. I bought it by the yard. Chris was calling me monkey face today outside. We were getting those muscadines or scuppernine little poles up. Excuse me. Phew. That got me all that dust from the sanding. We were putting the poles in the ground and all that, and I guess I was trying to hold it straight, and he said I was going, because you and that monkey face, does that help you do something better? I was like, you're being mean. Hush. Don't talk about my monkey face. That's my concentration face. All right, so it's kind of like we made our own little pull canvas, but remember, I mean, it's pretty sturdy, but you can only pull so hard on it. And I'm going to use this side since it's pretty good. It's the edge of it, the hem type, and it gives me, lets me know how square it is. What I'm going to do is just do it. I'm not going to try to go to the back because it'll make a hump. I'm just going to go straight to the edge. All right, so my glue gun gets pretty hot, so I don't really have to rush on this part. And I'm only putting glue on the bottom. I don't think it's necessary to put it on the top, but we may find it lays better. So I'm going to start here with just the bottom. And now that we know where the square piece is, we'll come around to this side and pull it this way first. I got a little bit of a wrinkle in here, y'all. And guess what I'm gonna do? I was getting ready to say fixing, but it says John Sharkey would tell me you don't say fixing to do anything. But let me see if I can lay it down with my heat gun a little bit. Doing pretty good. It's heating it up. Look at it trying to burn it, but burlap smell like fried chicken. But it got it out, so we're gonna go with that. All right, so I'm gonna put it in the center and pull that pretty tight, and then we'll straighten the other sides out. New Mexico, Pensacola too. Born and raised in Pensacola, but moved around because of my first husband was military, Air Force. Then married again, was a court officer too in Dothan, Alabama. Is that a yeah? Lived in Huntsville, Alabama. Worked at 911. Back to Pensacola now. Oh my gosh, you're so brave. I think I moved from my mama's house in with Chris when we got married. I'm just an old country girl. Scared to live without mama. But I hope I'm brave enough one day to, if I have to move closer to my grandbabies if they live off, But I'm all about I'm gonna do it. Born and raised here in little old Waynesboro, but I don't think I'd be scared to leave. I'd hate to leave my sisters, but you know, I can come back and mooch off them and stay in their house anytime I want, so. That sounded like when Reese Witherspoon says, so I can kiss you anytime I want in Sweet Home Alabama. Okay. Now, I did the whole side on the very first one, but just so I can pull it pretty tight, because, you know, I don't want like a big wrinkle or it pull loose, I did the middle of the other 3 sides, and then we'll just kind of work out from there. And that's really kind of how you do pull canvas. I mean, canvas for paintings. They start in the middle and work themselves out. So, it's just that glue comes through this cloth. So, let's cut a little bit of this excess off. I'm sure I'll have to cut some more, but just right now to get some of it off. Going straight across. Just remember to cut a little bit at a time, because you know you don't want to start over and cut. Okay, that's the side. Let's do this. You don't want to cut it too short. The next thing you know, you pull it too hard and break your little popsicle stick frame. And it's taking a good bond with that raw wood and then the material, you know, it sinks into. So just give yourself a second and it'll be okay. What section of the store will I find the sanding block in? Go to the automotive part where they usually sell like painting supplies. And I don't mean like craft painting. I mean like if you're going to paint your house or, you know, those kind of sections. And usually it's like where the car polish and mechanic things are. Look there. Okay, I'm going to put this side. I don't want any more little burnies, but sometimes when I use these little fingers on cloth, it sticks to it. Like this will adhere to it, so just keep it moving. All right, so at least front and all that, we've gotten it pretty tight. So we're just gonna work our way out. On the other 2 sides. Okay. So what did y'all do this weekend? Did y'all have a good time? Chris and I worked in the yard. We got all this done. Hold on. I did all that sneezing. Chris and I worked in the yard. We got so many little projects done. We had to stake our peach trees. They have so many peaches on them that, you know, a couple of them are like sagging over, even when we've kind of, you know, plucked some of them off to help them. But we knew we had to stake them. And we wanted to go ahead and get that done, and picked up the fungicide and pesticide that you have to spray your trees with. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow. Shouldn't take very long because we only have 5. And our lemon tree, y'all, all the buds, I mean the little flowers fell off, and we've got about 21 little tiny lemons on our lemon tree. And this is the 2nd year we've had it. Last year we only could get 13 because we had to pluck some of them off. It was tiny too. So then I got all the rest of my plants planted that I have just keep buying them, and I place them in the places I wanted them. But not only that, my last bed, I got all the rest of my ferns underwater. That means now the entire house, all my planted flowers, everything, all I have to do is walk outside, mash a button. It waters everything, y'all. In Georgia, y'all don't know how nice that is, because it'll get sometimes my Supertunia Vista bubble gums. I want to water those twice a day. And, you know, I'm not pulling hose. That's just, no. I love doing planted in hanging pots. I know you can kind of see my wire going up to it that waters it, but you know, I can pull that out if I ever have like a party or a get together, but every day to keep them how beautiful they are, they need water. And you know, you just get tired of that. And in Georgia, I can still be watering these flowers up until November. It's still, you know, 85 here. So all of our flowers are still blooming. Everything's still green. Okay, so we've pretty much gotten everything down. Looks like we did a good job. It's really smooth. So I'm just going to cut some of the excess off, and I'm not going to worry too much about the corners being perfect because we can lay those down. If you try to like, I don't really want to overlap it and do all that because then it'll just have humps in the corner. So we're just going to cut it down to the level. And I really want to get it to the level because when we glue this onto our board with the lemons, I want it to have that raw wood there so it'll get a good bond because it's pretty thin. Okay. So these corners, I'm just going to decide on which one. Like this one right here can cover the corner. So maybe the best way is just to pinch it. Yeah. And then I'm going to glue this side and glue this side and it'll come right together. And I really don't have to glue a whole lot. This flap is pretty much already down, so we're good on this corner. And you know, because they have like this burlap has a little point, it's coming together where it almost looks like it's seamless. But it's still okay. I've got to trim a little bit of this off the top. But that corner, really good. So not hard. Now, if you have like a different kind of material, it may be because this burlap, you know, already has those little points and lines. If you use some kind of pattern, you may see more that, you know, it's a corner, but that's going to happen. So don't fret over it too much. Planted flowers Saturday. Went to church today and then did nothing the rest of the day until time for sin. Oh my gosh, nothing like a good Sunday afternoon. Got some switches changed out. Now I have lights in most of my tiny house. All right. Let there be light. All right, so that's another corner. Let me see, let me trim a little bit of that. So looking good so far, that corner, so just one more corner. And I'm just pinching it straight to the corner, and I'm using the wood as my guide. And it kind of looks like that, and then I put a little extra glue in the little parts that don't have it. And it doesn't need very much, especially this burlap. And even if you had a little rough corner, that's okay. You know, we like ragged material, so nothing says that you can't do it that way. Listen, it's your project. And y'all, somebody posted one of their bless your heart moments on Sin's Craft and Bin. It was like a wreath she had made with like some tulle, and it looked like oh my gosh, like she used a lot of, it was like material or mesh or something. But I had been there. I always say I want to use mesh, but then I just can't stand mesh. I don't know, and I used to like it, so it must just be something that I feel I've used so much out of, I don't want to use it anymore. And then she said, it just keeps getting worse and worse. I love that. Because you know those crafts that just are awful, and you're like, if I keep doing this, it's going to come together. And then it really never does. Okay, so got some little straggler pieces. So here's our just cover. It looks like a little canvas. Just used about 2 blocks in each corner, so 8 blocks. And some popsicle sticks. You could even do this with a smaller popsicle stick because really the front is the only thing you're going to see. I'm going to put glue all the way around it, and I'm going to stick some glue on here. It doesn't look like it's all the way up to the top, so it may not help. So I'm definitely going to put it around the edge, but we're going to put this right in the center. All right, so before we do that, I have one of my lemons. that I got from Jennifer that we're going to put right in the center of it. All right, so let's get this little baby painted up. I'm going to use this little, I got a little bit left of just the maze and the Waverly chalk paint. But did y'all see Sharon's picture on Sam's Craft and Ben? She went to Tennessee, and she went to their Walmart because in Ohio they're selling out of all the Waverly paint in their Walmart because not all Walmarts are going to carry it. But she said this Walmart had a ton, so she bought up. So when y'all go on your vacations this summer, remember to hit some Dollar Trees on the way there or wherever you're going. If you're driving, I would just, you can Google it on there wherever you are and say, where's the nearest Dollar Tree? You don't ever know. They may have some stuff you've been looking for or things that yours doesn't have at all. All right. I'm going to leave my yellow out because I'm going to shade my leaves just a little bit. And let's see. Miss Moss is my favorite. It was so cute. Oh, I know. Too. It was horrible. No, it wasn't horrible. It was just hilarious that, like, if it's not what you want, that you're like me. I'll just keep going. And I'm like, I've spent all this work on it. I'm just going to keep trying. We all have that. And I love the fact that you shared it. Because every crafter has that time that they're just like, I have spent hours on this, and there is no way I'm hanging it anywhere up. But then you spend all that time, you just keep trying and trying to make it better. Hilarious. I raked the other night. Y'all saw what my rake looked like? I was going to try to make it. And I'm telling you, if I had to just put that rake on something, I would not have used, I'd have been like, she's just going to be bless your heart's scepter. Remember we had decided that. And, but I love that you posted it because that was pretty awesome. Okay, now we're going to do just a little bit of shading with this, and then I'm going to go opposite and put just a little yellow in the center. Just going out, just, shape of a leaf. All right. All right, and then where is my antiquing? Here's some truffle. That won't be too bad. I think my brush needs some water, what I'm lacking. And I'm just putting a little shading on it. Y'all know I want it to look real. Or, have some little real effects in it. So I'm just adding a little brown, and it's the color truffle. But I think if you use your antique, anything that brings in that little hint of brown. And I'm going to get a little bit on the tip and bring it into the center of my leaf, right where I put the yellow. Down the center. And a little bit where I did the yellow. And then put a lot where you can still see a little bit of the green, but the stem is mostly brown. I'm going to make it a little bit browner around where it goes onto the lemon. So there we go. And that is, how you want to do it. You can shade them. You don't have to shade them. They all look just as cute to me either way. I love the finished look. You no doubt understand why, way too long to figure out. Hold on, I missed that. Yesterday I was not a good day. Today is better. I've set my goal to try to stay up 3 hours, and this time I tried. Darlene, I tried to straighten my craft area a bit. I spent $90 on Magnolia products and lost the package somewhere in my house. Being sick with family, in and out, things get placed in areas. You know, people came in, Darlene, and probably thought they were helping you out, but I've learned that you don't trust another crafter's crafting space. You know, because mine is total chaos. But when I want to go find something, like I needed one of these, I knew exactly where they were. They were not anywhere they were supposed to be, but I knew exactly where they were. So yes, I can understand that, but I'm glad you are feeling better, Darlene. We don't care if you can't find your crafts. We're just glad you're feeling better. Okay, this is going to take a pretty big bond. I don't want it straight up and down. I kind of want it to be a little sideways, you know, not perfect. I want to push on this, but I don't want to push and mess up how straight it is and pull nicely. Okay, so we got our little, now we're going to adhere it to here. All right, so I would love to just put some on the four corners, but if you can tell, the little, it's not quite all the way up. You can see it back here. It's not quite all the way up, so I think I'd have to push really hard on it, so I think I'm just going to do the edge. And this edge right here tried to roll over. I really want to get it on that raw wood so it doesn't try to sag or anything. So, run a bead down there. Bead down this side, and this side. Hopefully everything will go okay. Let me look at it from above. There we go. Oh, and I did it this way, so we'll just go with it this way instead of long. I do not want to pull that up. But sideways, that makes it a little bit wider. I love that. All right. And what would our project be without a cute little miss bow? Trying to think if like I had like a little border, not that border. Maybe we'll do that on the other one. We've got one more to do, so. And y'all, look what they had yesterday. I was not really running out, but I think I had only gotten down to like 2, and I used so much of this, and they had so much. So if you're in Waynesboro, they have some of this in. They had like 4 or 5 like little hanging rows of them. So let's put our little hanger on it. First and foremost. Add popsicle sticks to them. Yeah, I probably could cut off, especially I had like little end pieces, would have been perfect. But this is so super light, and I can feel I got a good bond. And I don't really see any glue. There's one place right here where I see a tad little bit of the glue, but you can't tell. So I'll live with it. Okay. And there's, you know, the sticks are all the same length. So I think I'm going to put it in the middle of the second one. But I'm going to go down pretty far. I don't want my hanger to be too long. So we'll put a good little amount of glue on here. But this is the part I would definitely use E6000 here and E6000 here if you're going to put it outside. Because the napkin may hold it together, but it's probably not going to hold anything else together. You know, it will give a little bit. So I brought all my cute little ribbon out. So let's see. This is just gonna be reinforcing it. When it's these thick ribbon like this, I mean jute, I just don't trust that it won't pull loose. It's extremely light, so I think it's unlikely, but like I said, there's nothing like showing off a new craft and you hold it up and next thing you know, your jute has come loose from the back. Okay. All right. Besides our cute little messy bow, we're going to put on here, ow, ow, ow. We are good to go. I don't want to hold it. Let me let that finish doing what it's got to do, and I'll get our stuff out for our messy bow. And just like before, since we love that one with raffia in it, I'm going to grab the raffia. Well, and it's falling way over here off my floor. All right, let's see. Love this. I was hoping you would do one of your little messy bows. I know. So super cute. I think even if you did like one little loop bow, but we're going to put a little messy bow up here. That way this will stay. And y'all, I think you could make several of these. Say if you just made these and you wanted to do different fruit for different things on a wall, this would have hung up, you know, by itself with even just a little command hook. It was super light. Only thing you need to do is just take your time when you're pulling your cloth, no matter what cloth it is, because you wouldn't want a wrinkle in it anywhere, or, you know, a part that sags. All right, so let's see what different ribbon I grabbed. Grab that for you, some lemons. Just some plain yellow. That is plain, yeah. I've got some of this that's got a little bit of black and white in it. I don't really have any black and white, and I want to say, now that I look at this, I think that's a dark navy blue. That is. Let's see if I brought anything else out for this one. We're gonna make another one. So I've got different color down here, so no. Oh, I know what I did bring, but this is the same thing. This is just a piece of it. I've got the bigger, like that, and I have some sand, but I think these will be just perfect. And what you can do, remember, and we'll use one of them just in case you don't believe me. You could also use napkin. I saw a girl do one once, and it was one of the cute. She used all napkin. Now, by the time she was finished, it was like 25 minutes long on this one bow. And she, it was nothing but napkins. It was so pom-pommy, just super spectacular at the end. But I guess with napkin, you do have to use a lot of it. All right, I'm just gonna cut that little end off, and I'm not gonna remove the ply. So we've got our cute little napkin, and let's see the length. Hold on, we'll put one piece in front of me, so we'll do the same length on everything. Now these I'm gonna cut in half. It's the smaller one like this, and where I'm gonna cut these little ribbons in half. But I like this being navy blue. That way we don't feel like we bought black in it. I feel like I do black on everything. So we got a little color in here besides my usual black. But I love burlap, and we still may grab some burlap. Dolores, love this heifer time. This is our heifer time, y'all. Everybody needs heifer time before you wind out in the night. I told Chris tonight, I said, I have got to see my heifers tonight, but I cannot wait to get in the bathtub. Well, I'm going to have to take a bath before I take a bath. Take a shower before I take a bath because I'm so gross. You know, you feel like I would not feel like I had gotten clean if I didn't. Because I am dirty. Dirty. And y'all looking at this, look, this head. It's time to wash the gray out this head. It's time. But you know, like when you're working in the yard all weekend, you know, I just didn't feel like doing all that. All right, one more. But it's time. Neely has one of these friends. You know, she grew up in the same class with all these little girlfriends, and I love them. And one of them, Abby, she's so dear to me. Her mom and I were real good friends. She died of like, gosh, what do you call meningitis, I think. Really bad when they were, gosh, trying to think of how long Jessica's been gone now. A long time, but they were little. So she's just real dear to me. But she, bless her now, she's like one of my children. She'd walk in the door and she'd look at me and go, Miss Cynthia, it's about time to get that gray out your hair. So bless her. I love kids like that. They'll just tell you like it is. Listen, it's time to get, I'll never forget her saying that. And that was when my hair would only get gray right here and a little bit on the side. It, you know, not all that it does all this other places. And I was like, darn, Abby, you got to make it so bad. I got to get up now and go in here and get the gray out his head. Them grocery store feet. Say, yes, Debbie. I've already told Chris when we were eating and Bert came over here and ate supper with us. I was like, you know, before he could even say it, because I had grocery store feet yesterday too. Like I said, those shoes, I love them. But, you know, even if I was just walking somewhere on the beach, when I got back, my feet look like that. Because those shoes, they cradle your foot. It's almost like there's a cup in them. And it just, if dirt gets in them, it's going to rub into your feet. So yesterday, I was like, before you even say it, I know I have grocery store feet. So he came here today. He goes, I ain't going to say it, but you got them again today. I was like, yes, I do. I think mine are worse than grocery store feet. It looks like I tried to do something with my feet that, you know, like I walked through the swampy marsh of a beach or something. This messy bow is going to be awesome, y'all. And it's got a whole lot of yellow in it and white. So let's see. Nah, we'll have the raffia in it, so it'll bring a little bit more color to it. And the napkin, don't forget I'm putting this napkin in here. All right, I've got a lot of this polka dot because it was a wide ribbon. All right, here, some more napkin. Oops, y'all, look, now the ply is just coming off of it, just so easy. Where was that the other night? This is going to be one messy bow. Look at that stack. All right. So let me grab one of those little. Pray it don't break. Everybody cross your fingers. You're young. Wait until you're 65, then wash that gray. It not good. Oh, listen, I have to go darker because my hair is really light. I don't mind it if it would all go that way, but I got like patches. So it's like God was like, girl, I'm going to turn you gray, but, you know, I'm going to get you on the way there. I'm just going to give you a little bit at a time. Like, listen, I don't mind going gray. I just don't mind. I mind being a skunk. And that's what I look like, is a skunk. Okay. We'll cut the little excess of that off. All right, let's see where we're going. Oops. My little twisty tie is not going the right way. Okay. Y'all always keep telling me, wait till I get this age. Y'all got to go easy on me. I'm still trying to get over the fact some mornings I wake up and I got a sprained ankle and all I did was sleep. What'd you do? Sleep? That's what Ray Romano said. He goes, when you're getting old, he said, the worst thing is all the ailments you go through. He said, I woke up one morning and I had a sprained ankle, and they were like, what'd you do? And he was like, slept. You wake up, you limp into the bathroom, and all you've done is sleep, and you got a sprained ankle. Got an outdoor question. Best way to get rid of monkey grass. I don't know. I would not pluck it, even if you think you've gotten the root. If anything, I would take your shovel and dig all the dirt up around it. I mean, like, get under it like you're transplanting a plant and get like the whole, you know, bulb and the dirt that it's growing in, because that's about the only way you're gonna not spread it. On the other hand, I love monkey grass. I love it for a border. I just love it. But I know people hate it. And mine does spread sometime in this one garden, area of my garden. And when I don't want it to, I would just dig it. Even if you got to, just take it somewhere in the woods and dig that dirt up and go replace the dirt that you've had, or get some more potting soil or something. Y'all. But that would be the best way, I would say, to do it. Because sometimes, even if you pull it up and you get the bulb in the bottom, if those roots have any sort of life in them, that is coming back. All right, y'all, look here, look here. All right, let me trim those little loops. And look at the little napkin in there, showing through right there. I love it. I think since we've started putting the wrapping in them, they're getting better. Oh, make that a little bit shorter. That one too. Okay. So, too cute, too cute. I think the raffia adds that country feel to it. So if you want something like this, but not, you know, if you've got a material that's not the burlap to me screams country, just don't put the raffia in it. All right, so we're going to put it right here. And that way it doesn't take away from anything up top. I think it would be cute if you put them on one side. I'm going to put mine right in the center. But yours would be fine on either side. Now, I've got this little... Got a pretty big dollop here, so it's going to take a minute for it to cure. Send to me. Got an outdoor send it to me. Yeah, I like monkey grass, but I could see how it could get out of control for somewhere that you don't want it. But make sure, there's an app. Gosh, there's an app on your phone. Make sure it's not nut grass. If it's nut grass, bless you. You better get out there and get a handle on it right now, because nut grass is terrible. And nut grass can kind of look a little bit like monkey grass. Nut grass is just a weed. I mean, and I can put, there's some places at the church that I can put that black tarp down and monkey grass would grow. I mean, nut grass will grow through that tarp. So make sure it's not nut grass. If it is, girl, take out all your plants around and go ahead and put some round on it right now, because it is a nightmare to get rid of. And it loves sun and it doesn't want water. So, you know, you think I'm gonna starve it to death. It doesn't matter, it doesn't care. Oh my gosh, y'all. Too cute. I love it. It's simple. You know, one napkin, even for this size, we opened it completely up. We didn't have to go buy a frame. We just used some popsicle sticks, and you can use whatever cloth you have. I want to say if I have another one of these lemons, or did I trace the lemon so I could send it to you? I mean, you can cut this lemon out of cardboard, because, you know, with me painting it, even though it's wood, you don't necessarily know it's wood, but I really do think the shading, when you do like especially a single focal point right here, the shading just kind of gives it that extra little, you know, look. Dang, here comes the hail again. Lord, Martha, I just don't know what you Texans did, but y'all need to say sorry to whoever y'all did it to, because y'all are getting it this year. But I love that. I love the unevenness of the rustic look of the wood shims. And see, we just put it together. And even not painting it, I still think it looks super professional on the back. So there's not a lot you have to do. Too cute. All right, what time is it? Somebody tell me what time it is. Because I want to do the other one, but if we've been on here an hour and a half, you know, I need to go wash my nasty behind. What time is it? Eastern time. What time is it? Somebody tell me what time it is. I'm on my phone and it's not telling me on his computer anywhere. This one's not that much, but I don't want to. Are you trained painter or self-taught? I'll tell you who asked me that. I just saw the bottom of it. I'll tell you, the only really training, Michelle, that I've had is I love to watch painting YouTube videos, especially on shading and things like that. I mean, you don't have to go to school anymore to learn anything. You just need to go to YouTube. All right, 8:45. I think we have time. Okay, so what I got for this one is I actually got a frame, and it's just one of those $2 frames you get from Walmart. I've taken everything off of it, like the little, probably like cardboard backing it had, the glass out of it, everything. And we're going to do the same thing, but this time we're going to use like a rugged piece of burlap. And I'm debating on whether I should use the back, but this is kind of a porous-y one, and I surely don't want this to show. I like it's got kind of like some kind of like little design on it, so I think we're going to use the front, even though it's not very smooth. All right, so, and I mean, when I say I went and got a rustic piece of like real Kroger sack, that's exactly what this is. So it may not pull as tight and as straight, but what we're going to put on top of it is kind of big. So I'm not going to worry about it as much. All right. Now, I don't know if I can heat. This is like real old. Big Chris gave me a whole bunch of like real burlap sacks. And I have cut them up and used them and did all kind of stuff with them. So I don't know if this is going to iron out too straight. But we'll try. I can smell it heating up, so. Hopefully this one will be pretty quick. Okay. We'll do this one all the way around the back. All right, and we're going to do the same thing. It said this one will be open, but I'm not going to too much worry about that because the anchor that I'm going to put on it is almost as big as the frame. So we're pretty much going to put it on the frame and not put it in the center. Okay, so let's pull this. Let me cut it. get some of that excess off. We're not working with too long a piece. All right, just like before, I'm gonna do it in the center first. Seeing you outdone yourself again. Thank y'all so much. I'm glad you love it. I love it. I love anything with lemons. I kind of used to feel that way about sunflowers, which I still love. Y'all see I did that with Mimi. Still love them, especially a real pretty sunflower. But lemons is my thing now. I'm sure it'll be something else one day. But for right now, it's lemons. Look, y'all, finally. And how, so if I would not have went and got these that day I did, it would have been for right now when I ran out. So we would have been okay. But what self-respecting crafter runs out of hot glue? Child. It's like, you know, as Southerners, when we like to say, you know, your mama taught you better than that. All right. Central time is 7:42. I know I had a new crafter today. She's like, what time are you usually on? And then she said she was in Iowa. So I think they're only an hour behind her. So I said, I think I'll be on your time, 6:30. So I'm hoping she's able to join. We have some new people out there. Please say if you're new and where you're from. You don't have to talk a whole lot if you're one of those people that don't talk. That's fine. But we all want to tell you hey and make sure, you know, we know who you are and say hey to you. Because, y'all, I have 2,070 followers. What's up with that? All these people. I love that y'all don't like me. You don't want to craft alone. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Don't ever know when you need a piece for your messy bow. I told y'all I was going to quit saving little pieces like that. Y'all need to say, quit saving that stuff. This has got some old glue from the, evidently the back of the frame. Okay, I'm going to pull this pretty tight, but make sure I've got a little bit of give in it. So I'll be able to pull it from the other side and not make it all cattywampus. Let's see if we got any new. Only hey from Portsmouth, Ohio. Boy, we got some Ohio girls in here, Susie. All right, welcome y'all. We is Salty Heifers. Sharon, I'm so glad you had a great time. How about those pictures of Sharon? I don't know if y'all saw them. And she's on the bull. Not like she's not riding a bull, but you know, like a bull outside somewhere. I saw them earlier. And you know, it's just one of those photo ops. You can't pass that stuff up. And if you're anything like me, the last time Lynn's boyfriend, my next to me sister, he's got this shop out there and they've got like one of those big bulls like you were sitting on. The last time Suzanne, we might have had a few too many cocktails, decided we were going to get up on there and take pictures on this bull, y'all. It took us longer to get up on there than it did for us to take the picture. And then, you know, you get the case of the laughies when you're like, I can't. And they're like, just throw your leg over. I'm like, girl, I can't even get my leg up that high, much less just throw your leg over. Grove Point, Ohio. All right, 2 new people from Ohio. Welcome to all the newbies. Y'all are going to have a blast. Yes, Lisa, we have a good time on here. Because if you can't laugh at yourself, and we tend to laugh at Sin's crafts sometimes, or, you know, I'm one of those crafters that I like, you know, I'm like, I think I can just make that instead of buying it. We made this rake Friday. I've got to go back and watch Friday's post. And I made a rake to go with a shovel that I bought at Walmart. Well, needless to say, you can buy a rake and a shovel at Dollar Tree, but you can only get one of Sin's rake. It was not the prettiest thing, but after we put it all together with everything else, it was the best rake / shake, because it was a shovel and a rake kind of mixed together, that you have ever seen. We have a good time, no doubt. I love the video where y'all cooked and crafted with family and friends. Oh yeah, that they were all going, yeah, we'll craft with you, and it got down to it, and they all had their bathing suits on, and I'm like, just put your cover up on. That's what I had on. Nope, we're not doing it. And then Ren, who I know was on here, Ren, tell everybody, hey, she crafted with me. But then she was like, I don't want to be on there. I'm like, Ren is my homegirl. She is a crafter. She's on here every night. She just don't say anything. She was like, I'll do it. And then she wouldn't make the stars of the stripes. She said, I'm just going to paint them red, white, and blue. And then when I get home, I'll try to put the stripes and stuff on them in case I mess up. And I'm like, put some stripes on there. Put some, then she put some on. Look, there she is. See, hey, y'all. Hey, Nancy. So she was like, I'm going to go home and put my stripes and stuff on it. And I was like, put some stripes on there. I knew she was on here. Ren said when her and Gary, her husband, go out to eat, she'll say, hurry up, I got to get home. Sin will be coming on at 7:30. And then she said, we'll be on the way home. And you'll text, I'm not coming on tonight. Y'all, she texts me on the phone like, where are you? I'm like, I told y'all I'm taking a break tonight. And then that's what she told me about the pool. She said, you know, we was going home because I told him we had to leave the restaurant. And then you talking about we ain't on there. She's the one that texted me. Remember, I didn't do it when I was trying to decide on which nights I want to do it, which nights I didn't. I didn't come on there on a Friday night. And next day on Saturday, well, she sent me a text the first night that said, strike one when I didn't come on there. And then the next night when, you know, I definitely don't do Saturday. That's when I would do Monday through Friday. And so we decided to start doing instead of Friday, Sunday. She texted me the next night and said, strike two. So I'm like, as tired as I was tonight, I was like, And Chris was like, well, you sure you don't want to just go and get in the shower? I think he was trying to say you stink. Because he got to sit on the tractor as I was down on the ground doing all the, you know, lifting and holding the pole up, putting the water in the hole, going and dragging hose over there. And I said, oh, no, because I don't want Ren to text me and say, strike one, where are you? So, and they were watching a movie. It was so funny. They were watching a movie in here, and it had like 28 minutes left. And Bobby's like, it's right at the end. So Chris and I said, no, it's got 28 minutes. Go take a break, and then y'all can come in here and watch the rest of it. Y'all, look at how like the corners did. And I almost think that I like that. That like pointy kind of rustic look. But we'll see. I think I'm just going to do it like I did the other one. But Ren, yeah, Ren's my strike one, strike two. And y'all, I can't miss. She be getting me. Hey, I'm from Florida. What are we making tonight? We made a hanger from Shims. And we made our own frame where we pulled the burlap. Kind of like when you have to pull a canvas for a canvas painting. See, and when you don't, see it's kind of trying to hump right there, and I don't like that, but I think the more I mess with it, the worse I'll make it, so. This was a little bit harder because the sides aren't flush and boxed like the other one. So remember, if you don't have one that's boxed, you're going to kind of have to work on your corners. But I will tell you, I glued mine down, but I still like that corner, how it just kind of looks like rugged a little bit, but we did the corners like we did the other ones. So I'm just pulling up the edge and holding the corner down with my glue, my finger protectors. My husband said, yes, she's a nut. No wonder you were watching her all the time. Who was it? Judy that said Friday when I was like, y'all, it took us like we made this wreath for Mimi Friday night. And normally I try to just only keep y'all on here an hour and a half. And we just went on. We got so tickled at my rake, and we made the rake. We made the shovel. We made the watering can. We made the hose that's on it. We painted all of it. It just took us forever. And then we laughed, and so I was like, y'all, I'm just going to keep going if you want to come back in. And Judy said, I'm on here. No, it wasn't Judy. Who was it that said? No, it wasn't Judy. Said, I took care of Terry. It was Mahala. Said, I've been taking care of Terry for 40 years. You know, I've only been watching you 8 months, so he can wait. Oh my God, it was a perfect thing. I had to get off and tell Chris. You can't start over. You only get 3 strikes. That's right. Yeah, that's what she was like, strike 1. And so I busted out laughing, and I was like, I'll be on there. And then I was like, well, you know, I don't go on Saturday. So in the middle of the day, I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden my phone goes off, and it just says strike 2. I knew exactly who it was. So see, y'all, that pulled pretty good. I don't mind that you can see in the light that it's got the white behind it. That doesn't bother me. But if that does, just kind of maybe put you a little antiquing on or something, or stain it, because these, they feel almost like they have a really matte, paint on them that I think will take a stain. All right, so what we're going to do with this is, y'all, we got this from the Dollar Tree, remember, forever ago, and we haven't done anything with it. So as big as it is, I can get away. I think I'm going to go down so we can put that cute little messy bow up here. And see, I'll actually glue it to the side. So let's see, how do we want to paint this? We've got some blue and some red and some white. Let's see. And we've got the cutest little ribbon to go with it. Let me see what most of my ribbon is. I've got some ribbon that says farmhouse, that big farmhouse. I've got a real pretty, has a crab on it that's got red. I did grab one of my red, white, and blue, but it's just stripes. Let's see. This just has different, almost flag shapes in it. So I'm trying to think of what color. And this is the new that I got the other day that I'm looking so forward to using. So I think I've got red and white pretty much taken care of. But against that, I'm thinking maybe do a little bit more. Let's see what color looks better up against this. I really like the blue. So I think we're gonna go with the blue. All right, so let me put that to the side. All right. Y'all know my favorite person, Matthew McConaughey, with his gorgeous self. I think I know what I want to do. So we can have 2 in 1. Can y'all see this? We'll do this part and the hooks in blue. And I think I'm gonna do the red and the white all the way down. A red and white stripe. That way I can bring Memorial Day, 4th of July, ocean, marina, all in one craft. Do this other hook. He's such a good actor. Oh, or blue. What y'all do? White galvanized anchor. Oh, that would have been good, but you know, y'all, we did that galvanized thing Friday. Galvanized. You know, and normally when you think rakes really aren't galvanized, but I just thought, you know, what ifs? We was gonna make it the way we wanted to make it. We had a good time making it, and we had some good laughs. We just all needed that laugh at the end of the week. You know, it was Friday, and we were just, it was too hot. Hot tub right there. All right. I've got all these little pieces of burlap up here now. All right, so, well, let me paint the whole thing. See, paint the whole thing white, but do I have any white here? Yeah. He's such a good actor. Yeah, I just like him when he says, all right, all right, all right. And he's not too bad to look at either. Okay, I'm gonna paint it all white and then go back and do the red stripe on it. But yes, painting it that steel color would have been okay, like a true anchor. I get like that sometimes. You just want to paint the real McCoy. Like if it's a anchor, you know, there are no blue anchors out there. Unless it's like a new anchor on a ship. And they paint it just like one color one time to jazz it up. Chris told me one night, he's like, you need to do a craft for all the armed forces, like, you know. And I'm like, that would be awesome, but I don't know enough about each branch. Now, I know, like, the Navy wears those, like, sailor hats, and, you know, you call somebody in the Marines a soldier, and they're like, I'm not a soldier, I'm a Marine. You know what I mean? I'm sure I would butcher all that up. Some of them say hoorah, and some of them don't say hoorah. And, you know, so I'm like, I don't ever, that's one thing I don't ever want to, like, disrespect. Because I didn't know that till I got older when somebody was like, oh, you're a soldier. And they're like, no, ma'am, I'm not a soldier, I'm a Marine. That's the Army people. So, you know, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Not hurt, but that's just one thing you just don't want to get wrong. And I don't want to get that wrong. So I told him, I said, we're just going to have to do all the red, white, and blues and just put y'all in a group. I'm sure your husband, if he's listening right now, is like, that's a smart lady. Leave the Air Forces alone. They don't need to be in y'all's crafts for y'all to mess it up. Hey, Rhonda. I'm so glad you're watching, Rhonda. Look at all my people welcome you. So true on the Marine. Yeah, they don't want me to call them the wrong thing or, you know, and then I get all their dress and then everyday uniforms mixed up. And there's just some things you don't want to mess up. And that would be one of them for me. Lord, I have some angry army wife or somebody wife on there, you know, like, well, you know, this is not what you're supposed to do. This is what you're supposed to do. And I don't need any Karens. You know, like when they talk about Karen. And it's so funny that they say Karen now because, like, when it's somebody getting all up in your business. Karen, because y'all remember that commercial where it's like, I can't think it was an insurance commercial. And they were like, it was a Cynthia and she was going around the neighborhood, like making sure everybody's yards were up to code, and what is what they call Karen. And Chris looked at me and he goes, oh my gosh, you're the new Karen. You know, like when they say Karen is the person that's always telling you in your neighborhood your flowers ain't right or something. But thank goodness it only lasts for that commercial, because I don't think I could be a Karen. I'd be like, no, I don't do that. Okay, I'm just using a piece to be my kind of guide into each one. I don't think it matters what size tape you want. This is just a 1 inch, isn't it? I would think. But if you want to use a bigger one, smaller one, whatever, just to make it uniform, use the same size tape in between each one. Thank you. Excited to be here. Loving it so far. Yes, you getting like a twofer tonight. 2 crafts for 1 show. A twofer. Okay. All right. Now, once upon a time, I learned that if you never want something to bleed, to go back with your white paint and paint these borders. So if it bleeds, it's going to bleed white. And then paint your color on the top of it. But, you know, us crafters, that's why we use hot glue guns, because we get impatient. So I'm going to go ahead and paint. I was going down, trying to really mash those sides down, but sometimes you might have it. But I think it's just such a small amount for us. It's not a big project that if I have to do any touch up, if something's really driving me crazy, it wouldn't take but a minute. And I usually like to pull mine off while it's still wet. And sometimes that helps, you know, instead of like heating it up, and it may pull some of your other paint up. Chalk paint doesn't seem to do that as much, but when I used to paint a lot with like apple barrel or just a plain acrylic, that would happen. Now I didn't put a piece of tape right here, so I'm just gonna have to wing it across there. And this is just Barnyard Red from Dixie Belle. But a crimson, I think that's what the red for Waverly is called. Crimson is good. Sometimes that's a little too blood red for me. But I tend to I love this color. I mean, it looks good for the 4th of July. It looks good on red trucks. It's just got that hint of, you know, like a little bit of black in it that makes it where it's not so much that in your face red. It was really cute during Valentine's Day. We used it at Christmas time. It's a good paint for all occasions, I reckon. All right, almost done. Then all we got to do is just do our messy bow on this one. It was an easy one. This is an easy craft. Whoops. All right. And we're going to scuff this up a little bit. It was Bike this week at Myrtle Beach, like bite week. There was a bunch of woolly boogers, but there was some nice looking hunks too. Oh my, 64. Why was I looking? Judy, just because you on a diet don't mean you can't look at the menu, girl. I can't remember where I heard that, but that was like the best thing ever. Ooh, I don't want to throw those away. I might can use it in my messy bow. Okay, I'm going to pull this up while it's still wet. I had a little bleed on that one. None on that one, but I see on a potential drip right there. So we only had a little bit of a bleed right there, which I'm not going to worry about it, because I think it'll be okay. It almost looks like Where's Waldo? Oops, I'm not getting on the inside. Yeah, my sides got a little drips on them, but I'm not going to see the back, so. Doesn't it look like a Where's Waldo? Where's Waldo? But y'all know I don't like anything this bright or whatever. I'm going to scuff it down a little bit. I think I'll put a little antique on it. And the main reason why is because I'm using this burlap. So I'm kind of like, it's got to look a little rustic. Hold on, had to call daughter. High winds fixed to hit her metal chairs flew across the street last time, so she puts them up now. Yeah, Martha, you need to call her. Martha, y'all might be having like the apocalypse in Texas this year. You might need my rake that I made Friday. Remember, it's like the Freddy Krueger rake. It'll fight off anything. We're going. Ooh. And see, this is what I love about chalk paint. To me, this just looks like regular acrylic paint. But watch when I start to scuff it. It just really brings out, to me, that chalky. And I'm going straight across it. And I'll show you how different. See how different that is from this? It just brings that chalkiness out in it. And I'm going to do the edges, which just kind of gives it that old, I mean, and I like it light like this, but I think, you know, some people like it a little bit darker too. So once you bring that real wood back out, you can, oops, look at me, put my finger on here, that red on my finger. And you can bring that scuffed edge out. Now you can leave it like this, or you can put some antiquing on it, and it'll be like a darker shade of the wood. But I'll show you too on this one how just scuffing it up brings out that chalk in it. See, that one compared to that one just brings that chalky feel. So don't be scared to run a piece of sandpaper over it. If you feel like you sand it, you don't like it, then you just put another coat of paint on it. All you're doing is just scuffing up the paint a little bit. A little bit of red got on that. So see, now it looks, it's not so, I don't know how to explain it. I like it better that way. So let's do the red. Same way. Even though some of my red wasn't dry, but we'll live with it. Now it doesn't look so much like Where's Waldo. Awesome patriotic anchor, messy boat. Oh, you know it. Okay. So. See, a little bit more rustic. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of antiquing on it. Not much. I don't think it'll take much. If I can find one I did with it Friday. There it is. All right. And this, y'all, for your new ones, I really like to rub with my finger, especially when it's on the edge of something. I just feel like I can control it. Where I'm putting it, you know, I don't put too much on there. So see, the parts that I turned really light back to raw wood, see now I just put the antiquing right there. So that can kind of be your guidelines on where you know, put your antiquing if you know, want it to look like, you know, it's something that, you know, rusted or the paint's chipping. See at the bottom, I just followed the scuff lines. And I've seen some of y'all, you know, making memorial things for mothers and fathers. I think this would be something really cute to hang on, you know, like instead of maybe a flower arrangement, you could maybe put this on, you know, like a graveside type thing too. Doesn't always, there's nothing out there that says it has to be these, you know, flowers. Something, you know, something different. Now, I don't know if you have to worry about people taking stuff like that. I hope not, but you don't ever know with this world. So see, I'm just adding it to a few different places. Places that my paint, you know, I'm using that as a guide where it kind of chipped off. And if it chipped off more in one place, that's where I'm putting more of my antiquing. And antiquing is kind of just like a stain. Waverly, that's just their name of it, is antiquing. And I like Waverly, it's not bad. You get it at Walmart, but they only have one color, where like a Dixie Belle, Wise Owl, which I've never used, but they have several different shades of, oh my gosh, I'm loving it. They have several different shades of stain, where this one, this kind of chocolate, is the only one you get if you just exclusively paint with Waverly, you're just stuck with one different stain. All right, just going around the edges, not too heavy, just enough to make it look like that, like it's a little tiny old, but you know, not too much. I'm gonna put my arm in that, and that's all I need is like grocery store arms. No, nothing wrong with some eye candy. That's right, Helene. Love that rake. We did love it, didn't we? Okay. We put our tape up. Now, like I said, I'm gonna put this at the bottom, which, let's see, like the other one, we put it this way. Now, let's do this one up and down. That way I have more room for my messy bow at the top. Okay, I'm just gonna put a little bit at the bottom and the side and a little bit on the curve, but I'm mainly hoping that it'll do the most bonding on the side, the part that'll get on the wood. So here, ooh, my glue gun is... is getting cold. That means we've been over here longer than an hour and a half. That means I need to hurry. All right. So there we are. I like it just the way it is, especially if this is a little boy's room. So cute, or something at the beach. It would be so hard for me to have a beach house. I wouldn't know if I'd want those. I think I'd end up with the sea glass colors. But I love navy blue and red together too. Okay. Let's see. We're going to do the length of 3 of these. Ooh, and I do not want to use those new scissors to cut ribbon. I'm going to do 2 of these just because I want some of that burlap in here too. Okay. Like the stripe. I think that's going to look good with what we have going on too. This is my new that I love it so much. And this I got for the 4th of July just because it had like multiple tone, almost like flags, but they're not. They're just, you know, some. And then I just like this farmhouse. It's got a real pretty red. I bought a blue, no, I think a yellow. I can't remember. But it just says farmhouse. And y'all see that we got the mirror back on our phone? How do I always get the ribbon where they start? Is this where they like put it together? That always happens to me. All right, we're gonna get some of that, some of this Rick Rack back out. And I feel like I need some blue. Yeah, I did bring it out. All right. Now every time you do that face, I'm going to think monkey face. My husband calls my daughter monkey head. She made that face on a school pig one year. So ever since, he's called her that monkey face. Oh my God. She goes, and I'm probably sitting here doing it. Chris, I'll get him. I think I made this one too long. But we can always trim it up, and I'm not going to trim those. I love this red. In the fall, I'm probably not going to love it as much because it's such a bright red, but we're going to make do. I think we all love that tape. Bless your hearts. Little sidekick, giggle. That was one time. Friday night was... Oh, you're talking about the tape, the rake. Yes. It was hilarious, y'all. When we tried to do all the doctoring we could to that poor little rake, but... Like I said, it went with so many other cute things that, you know, you don't realize the rake was a train wreck. And she didn't say anything about it. And especially when she said, well, let's go inside so I can get a closer look. That means she wanted to come out the door so she didn't have to go up the steps. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's fixing to see that. Let me just cut these in half. She's fixing to see that Ray, you know, and Chris, he's already holding his breath about to laugh because he knows that I'm thinking she's going to say, what's that right there on that shovel? But like I said, because of the shovel, you know what everything's supposed to be. But alone, that rake was just a tragedy. But we loved it. We loved our little bless your heart rake. We done gotten so tickled we couldn't do nothing but love it. Oh my gosh, I'm just sitting here thinking about it. It was hilarious, y'all. This rake. And it was so funny because we all were trying to figure out how to treat, you know, like a spork is a spoon and a fork together. So we were all trying to figure out what we wanted to name it. And every one of them were good, like take for rake and or shake for shovel and rake together, because that's kind of what it looks like. It was hilarious. especially the naming part, when we all thought we just knew exactly what it needed to be named. Knowing we didn't, we just all had then gotten the giggles. And everybody was saying I needed to stop because I was going to pee on myself, which would probably been the case. Especially if I had to get up and walk around. I'd have been laughing up a storm. All right, let's grab our raffia. Let's get our little zip tie here. This is a big old little bow right here, Missy. John Deere Green. Y'all, song came on about John Deere Green today, and all I could do was laugh. Because Chris looked over at me, he said, "You're right." Because, you know, I said if they started making songs about Kubotas, I might want to get one. Prayers for you and your family. Oh my gosh, I missed something. Bless y'all's heart. I had to do that twice. Hold on. Going to get the boobies smashed tomorrow. What does that mean? Pat Hill, praying for you and all your family. I missed it, Pat. What'd they say? What'd she say? Just got the news. The doctors are taking my brother-in-law off the vent. His body has shut down. Prayers for the whole family. Oh, Pat, I'm so sorry. But if he is in pain, I hope that, that he won't be in pain anymore. But oh my gosh, that's awful. I'm so sorry. Peggy, thank you for all it need. Oh, you're talking about for Friday? Yeah, I think we all needed that laugh Friday. Especially people like Pat, when dark times, you just need a good laugh sometimes. Oh, and somebody, when you mean booby smashing is the mammogram. Oh, all right, y'all just hit me. All I saw was booby smashing, and everybody was telling Pam, Pat, I'm so sorry. Y'all, this is going to be like the best patriotic messy bow ever. Okay. I think it's the perfect mix of red and white, so we don't have too much of one thing. I know I got more stuff than that on my pants. Oh, Pat, I'm so sorry. Look at that. Look at that. Messy bow, messy bow. Okay. Well, let's hope this little sucker sticks. And we're not going to see kind of the anchor part at the top, but I'm okay with that because we know what it is. All right, I like these ties. Not too bad, but I don't, ooh, that one slid good. We put like a good little chunk on there. Hey, just got on. I've had to watch the replay. We had to take our grandson home. Oh, goodness, Judy. At least you had a good visit. Sending hugs and prayers to you, Pat. Yes. No worries. All right. All right, let me let that finish getting a good bond. It's acting like it's not wanting to stick, so let's put a little more shots of glue in different places. It's just my glue gun gets so hot it takes it a minute, you know, when it's on this fabric, so that even takes a little bit longer. Your bows always turn out so good. Yeah, but here lately I was like, well, you know, I gotta put raffia in them more because I see other people's, and the raffia does make it a lot cuter. So now that I've done that two or three times, I do like it better. I just forget about raffia. I don't have anything against it. Loving this, y'all. I hate so much that it's covered up the little, this part, but I think we all know what it is, so it's still all good, you know. But on this one, I want to put this rope on here, and I know I've got one that's open. Yeah, I do. This rope that looks more like the nautical rope. I'm trying to think of if we do that all the way around it. Oh, I think I like that. Like start it at the top. Y'all, I'm thinking I like this. We never get to do anything with this rope. What was that noise? Oh, I think it's Buffy's Xbox is thinking, or whatever machines do when they... Lord, I hope I make it all the way around it. And it's still super light. The only weight is the frame. And, you know, that's not, I don't really think it's a real wood. So it's still super light. I think you could still hang it up with a command hook. I mean, I will anyway. So I'm hoping. And the bow, even though it looks all busy and all that, it doesn't weigh anything either. This rope will probably be the most weight. And it's really going to hold itself because I'm not going to break, you know, like cut it. I'm going to, oh yeah, I think that puts it together. Gives it some kind of look. Gives it that little at the end. Yes, I do too. All right, let me do it a little bit closer. Because even though I like the roping, I don't want it to take up a lot of, you know, take away from the bow and everything else. I think it adds that something to the outside. So we're just going to do a loop of it at the top. All right, how'd we do? What time is it? How'd we do on time? Okay. I'm going to put a little extra glue up at the top just because I don't want it to come loose from the sides, because I'm not going to put anything extra. I'm going to just let the rope continue around to this side. So it's like one continuous piece. So I don't want it to come loose right here, you know, when it pulls. I still think it's extremely light. The rope probably added a little bit to it. But I think I got it too long. Because I want it to, yeah. Let's see. It's going to be behind my bow. So I think I may put it on here. And then hold on for just a second. Let me let that sit. 9:34. Oh, I did not want to keep y'all 2 hours. Rope really set. Yeah, I think it just made it cute. I like this rope, but I don't ever want this rope with anything else, but especially when we do something nautical or sea, then it just feels appropriate. So what I'm ever going to use this for that's not, I don't know. Maybe if it was a different color, I wouldn't so much see that. Okay. All right, and in order to hold it, what I did was, I didn't just want it to stop right here. I went ahead and did it all the way down here, because behind the bow, see you don't see that, but I just didn't think just having like one little stop right there would have held it on. I think it needed a little bit more something bonding to it than just the tip. All right, do this back a little bit so you can see more of the little top of the anchor. This is still pretty. All right, y'all, I don't know which one I like better. I can sit here and say I like the lemon one better, but then when I look at this, I'm like, yeah, hold on, let me let that take a little bit longer. So, look at that. And I'm like, y'all, I think the rope did just give it that little bit of What is, this ribbon is all being cattywampus. So, two things. If you got an old frame, and like I said, this is a frame that I was using that kind of, the back fell off of it. It just, so I threw everything else away and kept the frame. They come in black and white at Walmart, and normally they're $2. And that's with like all the glass and everything. So that, and you know, we made this one just out of popsicle sticks and some shims and one napkin. So this one's pretty easy too. So let's see if that one's got a hold and see. Still trying to, oh, that's because it's on the ribbon. No, I want it on the frame. Okay. All right, that's because it's on the ribbon. So let's put some more glue right there. I'm gonna let that really cure, but I will hold it up and hold that piece because I love that. Even with a little rope, if you had like any kind of seashell or something, you maybe wanted to put in the middle, but I think it's cute just the way it is. Yeah, I don't know which one I like best. I think I like the lemon best because that's the one I'll use all the time. You know, this one, you know, I'll use during 4th of July and Memorial Day, things like that, but I'll be able to use this one all summer. So I think that's the only reason why I'm leaning toward this one. But as far as like, especially if I had like a little boy, a little grandson, that's what I'll be like, even if you don't like it, I'm hanging it in his room. I won't be that grandmama. All right. All right. I don't want to pull on that, but you see them. All right. Had a good time. Good start to the beginning of this week. We got a lot of things that I picked up at the Dollar Tree and that stuff we picked up at Hobby Lobby to do some extra. So it was a couple hours, but we got 2 projects out of it. So I hope y'all thought it was worth sticking with me. But thanks so much, and I will see y'all tomorrow night. Hopefully I have to work in the yard tomorrow, but I won't be quite so dirty when you see me tomorrow. But thank y'all all so much for the hearts. And I hope all your family, we're all praying for everybody's family that's not doing good. And we will see y'all tomorrow. Thanks.